Well, hello, Facebook and YouTube, and hello, Instagram. Good to see you. Listen, today I am jumping on because I want to talk to you about the perfect business model for today and certainly tomorrow. And obviously, you may or may not know, but I am a huge proponent of recurring revenue and particularly the business model that incorporates memberships and subscriptions. Now, there's a big reason why I'm a fan of this model, and it's because it creates tremendous stability in your business. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you some different ideas of how businesses have incorporated membership and subscription and how they are thriving with this. So listen, if you've thought about having a membership or subscription, but you've just been unsure as to what you would do a membership around, or if you are curious as to how a membership could be adapted to your particular business model, this, my friend, this is going to be the session for you. So let's just quickly talk about the reason that I fell in love with memberships is because I had a business model that got me to a point, but it was very restrictive in the sense that I had a consulting business, right? So back in the day, this was 2008. I had a consulting business where clients would hire me and I would advise them. And in many cases, I would help execute on certain, marketing plans and so forth. And it was a very lucrative business. It was a business model that I loved. But here's the problem. I had a whole bunch of great clients who wanted more and more of my help and time. And so it got to the point where I was working early in the morning until late at night, and there was no more time to give. So for me, this is what started getting me thinking about like, okay, how do I create a business model that doesn't limit my growth potential based on the amount of time that I am giving? So this is what really forced me into thinking about like a new business model. It led me to thinking about, memberships and subscriptions. And back then I didn't really even know much about it. In fact, I was moaning and groaning about this to a friend of mine. And I was saying like how, I had all these great clients. I had this great business, but, there was a ceiling in terms of my earning potential because I couldn't work with any more clients because I was maxed out. And the only way to earn more would be to charge more. And yes, I could do that to a certain extent, but there was a limit. And so that's when he suggested to me that I start a membership. And I didn't really know much about it at the time. And so he explained to me, he said, basically what he suggested I do is to teach what it is that I was doing for my clients, but then I could serve so many more people. And so I was like, oh, interesting. And he said, the upside to that is that, at the end of the day, it does not have any limitations in terms of your ability to be able to serve so many more people. And I said, okay. So I went for it. And ultimately what ended up happening was I created a membership, and it absolutely immediately gave me the ability to be able to scale and serve a lot more people. So it was a far more leveraged way to be able to serve people. Now, at the time, I still had clients, still worked with a few clients, but it certainly gave me the ability to earn a lot more, and I wasn't limited. So from there, what ended up happening was obviously I, in the midst of trying to set up a membership site back then, the technology was not what it is today. So I was like way over my head in terms of, things like server settings and HT access files. Like it was just crazy. So long story short, I was moaning and groaning to another friend of mine that all I wanted to do was I just wanted to teach. I just wanted to teach. I didn't want to have to mess with all the tech stuff. And then ultimately that's when he suggested that we create our own solution together. We did. That became Wishlist Member. And from there, like that thing took off. So we ended up serving literally tens of thousands of business owners in all kinds of different markets. And so from there, that's when I really started to see behind the scenes of, how all these business owners in all these different markets were creating membership and subscription. And ultimately, this is what led me to absolutely falling in love with this business model because it is the perfect business model for today and for tomorrow. And in fact, I am more passionate about this today because of everything that has happened. Because here's what's happened. I get and have been receiving messages from so many of our tribers in our community who are so grateful right now that they have an online membership because it's enabled them to bridge this period. In fact, many of them haven't felt the effects of all of the coronavirus at all. In fact, some of them are thriving like crazy. Like I just got an amazing update on Saturday from one of our dear friends, and one of his name's Levi. He's in my Impact Mastermind. And I mean, his membership is skyrocketing right now. And it's I can understand why. And we'll talk about that here in just a minute. But here's what I want to do. I want to get your brain moving and grooving. And for everybody that's leaving comments, thank you for that. I appreciate you leaving comments. And one of the things that I want to do is I want to get your brain moving and grooving. So here's what I encourage you to do. In the comments, I want you to just start typing any type of membership or subscription that you belong to. So I want you to think about, like this morning, of all things to conk out this morning, my internet conked out, right? So holy moly, first world problem, because like when you're in, quarantine and then the internet conks out, oh my gosh, like people are losing their minds in the household. The kids are losing their mind because they had school scheduled where they're supposed to be meeting with their class online. And, Dad, what's wrong with the internet? My wife's, freaking out because she's got meetings that she's got. I've got stuff. I'm doing stuff with you right now. And so people are freaking out because the internet's gone down. But that's a perfect example, right? The internet is something that we pay for on subscription. What is some other things that you pay for on subscription? Let me know in the comments. But when you start rattling and thinking about it, rattling it in your brain and start thinking about it, you start to realize like, oh my goodness, there are so many things that I pay for based on subscription. I'll give you some ideas from our household. Well, obvious one, Netflix. Hello. It's one of the most successful success stories as it relates to. Yeah, I just see somebody said Netflix. I see here Smule. I'm not sure what that is, but Alicia, thanks for sharing that. Coach Marcy said everything is subscription. Yes. I would agree. Spotify, somebody just said TV, cell phone, Audible. These are all great. Thank you for sharing this. Somebody said the great courses, Spotify, Netflix, Hulu, iTunes. Emily says, Emily, good to see you, buddy. Emily said photo editing apps, entertainment, grocery delivery, wine club. Oh, the wine club, Emily. Wine and art, girl, wine and art. So awesome. Great to see all the different comments coming through. And Alicia said full focus planner from Michael Hyatt. That's great. Canva. Awesome. Okay, so lots of things that we're paying for on a regular basis, right? And some of the things that were mentioned here that we pay for in our family, we have weekly organic fruits and vegetables delivered to our door. Somebody just said, Alicia just said Juice Plus. Yeah, what's interesting is that there's a company that my wife, since the quarantine started, she started ordering like all these juices and asked them like, do you have a subscription? And she said, and the woman on the other line said, no. And my wife's like, what? Why? She's like, I want to order these on a regular basis, right? And so lots of opportunity for subscriptions. But we have groceries that are delivered on a weekly basis, organic fruits and vegetables. We have our another weird one that you may or may not think of. And when we first moved into this house, we one night my wife and I were lying in bed and we heard like these little mice. And my wife just started freaking. She's like, we got to move. And I'm like, baby cakes, we just moved into the house. We can't move. She's like, I can't live here with mice. And so we called an exterminator, and the exterminator came and they set traps and said, look, you live in a wooded area. It's inevitable that this will take care of the mice for now, but it's inevitable that the mice will be back. He said, would you like us to put you on a maintenance plan where we come back every few months, check all of the traps and refuel the traps, I guess you could say, so that you never have a mice problem again. And I was like, heck yes. So, we pay for that on subscription. So there's lots of different things that we pay for on subscription, right? And once you start opening your mind to it, you start to realize like subscriptions and memberships are everywhere. So why are the big companies moving toward membership and subscription, as well as so many other companies across all kinds of different markets? It's because they create tremendous stability. So I'm sharing this with you because one of the things that I want to do is I want to start planting the seed of what a membership and subscription makes possible. And here's what I know to be true. when you have membership and subscription, you can make decisions in your business in a way more confident and clear way than when you don't have that membership and subscription income. Let me give you an example. So there's a car wash right across the road from our office that is a membership model. Now, I want you to hear how they've structured this because it's really important. You can go through the car wash one time for a price of $9, or you can go through the the car wash an unlimited number of times during the month for $12 a month. So one time for $9 or an unlimited number of times during the month for $12 a month. Well, it's a no-brainer offer, right? And so here's what's happened. That car wash in the first few months grew from 0 to over 3,000. And then, literally a few months later, because I went and got a second subscription for my wife's car, they had blossomed from 3,000 to 4,500 monthly paying customers. So just think about the difference here in terms of that car wash compared to another car wash that is literally down the street. That other car wash is just hoping that people are going to come back and buy from them, right? But not the one right across the office, because they know for certain that 4,500 people will be paying them the very next month. And so what this does is it creates stability in the business and changes the dynamic of how that business can begin planning and can begin investing and begin growing, right? Whereas if people are hoping that customers are going to come back, there's always this level of uncertainty in the business, right? Like we have no idea what would happen. Like look at what has happened through all of this. And my heart goes out to all those businesses whose worlds have been turned upside down right now because of the whole quarantine. I've got dear friends, one of my dear buddies, Mike, owns a restaurant. Completely, sales have come to a screeching halt. One of my wife's dear friends, Lindsay, the sales of her breweries come to a screeching halt. Now they're doing some innovative things to try to recoup and recover, but still, like that's a big hit. Or I think of Natalie, another friend of ours, her and her husband, they own multiple coffee shops, right? Like come to a screeching halt. So my heart goes out to so many of the business owners who have absolutely felt the effects of all of this. But the other side of this is that this is an opportunity for us to innovate. And I want to share a story with you that literally came in less than 2 hours ago. And this is from Beth. Now, I'm just going to read it. So just bear with me as I read it. But this was from Beth. She said, I just got an update for you on the last 30 days. She said, background, she owns a brick and mortar pet grooming salon and had to close it because of the whole coronavirus. And she said 0 income was coming in. So she pivoted. And this is what I love. And I hope if there's anything that you can take away from this, I want you to take away the shift that Beth made in the way that she began thinking about this. She said, I had to pivot my mindset to how instead of can't and focused on the problem. She said the problem was that clients would want to be the first in the door when we reopened. So the solution, she created a prepaid priority booking campaign that guaranteed them a spot the first week that they open and positioned them into a membership model. And she said, without them even knowing it. Now, what she meant by that was that she has, let me see here, because she clarified this a little further. She said, my clients already come on a monthly basis and many of them more often. To better serve them, we will offer 3 levels of membership, monthly, biweekly, and weekly, with 2 basic options, basic and deluxe. The deluxe will give them a package of upgrades, teeth brushing, nail grooming, etc. Plus, we will have a community page where we can really take care of our clients on a much more personal level. Plus, the membership will allow them to lock into their favorite stylist. Oh my goodness. Now, let me tell you what happened. Here's what happened for Beth. Like because of this campaign, it immediately brought in, I'm not going to share the exact numbers because, I haven't asked for her permission yet, but what I can tell you is it immediately brought in a whole lot of cash into the business. And when you start doing the membership math on this, it's going to result in hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm sharing this with you because, my friends, this is so important right now. With a little shift to think about how you can take your business from one-time customers to recurring customers, very, very important shift in your mindset. Now, and it's happening all around us, right? Like the big companies like we talked about. So many of you listed so many companies that you're already paying on a monthly basis for. Even companies like Burger King. Like, did you know that Burger King has a membership? Yeah, for $5 a month, you can get unlimited coffee. So why would they do that? Well, of course, the $5 a month is going to be nice. Yeah, that's going to bring in some recurring revenue and some stability. But the reality of it is what that does is it creates loyalty and repeat purchases. So those customers who are on that $5 a month, they're going to be coming back into the restaurant on a more consistent basis to get their coffee. But inevitably, when they are back in the restaurant, they're much more likely going to invest in buying more from Burger King. You see how this works? So again, it's an innovative way to use the membership model to drive more frequency of purchases and higher transaction values. So I'm sharing this with you because there are so many interesting ways to do this. Now, from a product standpoint, how many of you, let me know in the comments, if you belong to any subscriptions where you get products sent to you on a monthly basis. Because there are many subscription companies like this, right? Like one of the most popular is the Dollar Shave Club, where they took one single product, which was razors, right? They took razors and they turned that into a subscription, and they blew that company up from this fledgling little startup to 4.5 years later, selling it for over $1 billion. Can you imagine? But what they did was they transformed that business model from a one-time purchase where they no longer had to hope that customers were going to come back and buy the razors again. They guaranteed they would through subscription. So I see here Fab Fit and Fun from Alyssa. Thanks for sharing that. doTERRA I see is another subscription where products are being sent on a regular basis. Great. Igor says, yes, beauty box for my girlfriend on a monthly basis. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, gang. So yeah, lots of great innovative business models that are built around products that are sent every single month. There's BarkBox. Speaking of pets, BarkBox is another one. Desk Nibbles. This is something that we get sent to our office where we pay on a monthly basis, and they send us a package of like snacks for the office. Lots of great ideas here. Now, there's lots of ideas within our community, like within our tribe community. When I think of like box subscriptions, obviously the first person I think of is Sarah Williams. She has blown up her box subscriptions and T-shirt of the month clubs in the last year. She's grown her number of subscribers from 300 to more than 2,000. Now, the interesting part about that is she owns a brick and mortar retail shop. And, you know, she was telling me she's so grateful that she had this online side to her business. And in fact, it's got her questioning whether she's ever going to go back because, you know, the retail side it's a lot of work, right? There's a lot of layers of complication. What she's realizing is like, there's so much upside to growing the online subscription that it has her questioning, you know, the retail shop. Now, whether one of the things that she says though, is she loves her local customers. So that'll be something for her to navigate as she, you know, gets back into the swing of things with the retail shop. But here's what I do know is that the online has helped her bridge the gap with her offline business. So lots of great examples. Another one is Levi. Well, Levi has a membership site with his business partner, Tony, where they teach guitar. They have guitar lessons. And this membership is absolutely exploded, and it's exploding during this time. Like they are tripling their sales. In fact, I was talking to Levi on the weekend, and he hit another major milestone. Like it's mind-boggling how quickly he's growing right now because more people are spending more time online than ever before. They want to be productive. One of the things that they want to do is research shows that they want to leave the quarantine having learned a new skill. So you can imagine why his membership is just blowing up. People want to learn the guitar, right? They want to use this time. And so his membership is absolutely blowing up. Nicholas Wilton, another great example where Nicholas is an artist. So he paints fine art. He gets paid to create these beautiful, wall paintings. And that's certainly been a business model of him. He's also started teaching it and has since turned that into a membership for all his clients. Oh, I got my kids. They want to come say hello. Hang on one second.
We want to show our dolls.
Oh, you want to show your dolls. Okay. Hashtag working from home here. Okay. So you're going to step up here. Come here. Oh, this is my son.
Tell her it's Blueberry.
This one's Blueberry. Okay, great.
Tell them what she loves to do.
Okay.
She loves to flip.
She loves to flip. Okay, and Marley, you gonna come show yours? Come on. Oh.
This is Coral, and she loves to go on bike rides in my bike basket, which is her car seat.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So you just took her on a bike ride.
Yes.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you for coming to show us. Go. There you go.
Oh, also, me and Sam did another project and just finished it.
Okay. Awesome. Sweet. All right. Can you please shut that door? Hashtag working from home, gang. So long story short, there are so many cool business models. We were talking about Nicholas Wilton. He's turned his into a membership. Jamie Swanson, love Jamie Swanson. She serves photographers and specifically personal brand photographers, helping them welcome new recurring clients into their business. And she, again, has turned that into a membership. You got Amanda and Jonathan Textera with Wallet Win. So they help people with their personal finances. And the amazing story is when they first launched their membership, it was done at our live event. And they got the news that they had just been matched with for an adoption. And then the reality set in, which was like, oh my goodness, like, how are we going to pay for this? Like, I don't know if any of you have gone through an adoption. You know, obviously, we certainly have with our amazing son, Sam. But it's, there's an expense to it, and it's pretty significant. And so in that moment at the event, they brainstormed the idea for the membership, and they did a beta launch, a founding member launch of it right there and then. And the incredible part is it created a ton of momentum, which helped them pay for the adoption. Like, that's what I love. This is what I love about being an entrepreneur, right? This is what I love about being an entrepreneur. We can have an idea, and shortly thereafter, we can put it into practice and make magic happen. I'm reminded of this last weekend. Like on the weekend, I got a message on Instagram from a gentleman. His name's Caesar. And he was telling me that, he's a corporate consultant for, corporations, helping them with storytelling. But the challenge with it was obviously during this time, like, a lot of corporations have shrunk back on their outside contracts. And so he's like, look, there's never a better time than now. Like, I might as well go for it. So he did a founding member launch of his membership, ended up welcoming 50 members. He didn't have a massive audience either. Like, he had built a Facebook group of about 800 people, but now that has blossomed into this membership of more than 50 members. So just incredible to see what happens. Another great story is Audrea Richmond. She has a membership called Uncloned Marketing. So she's a marketing consultant. So now she, in the same boat, similar to my story where, she was working with clients. Now this membership gives her the ability to serve so many more people and help so many more business owners in their marketing than just working one-on-one with clients. Aaron Chung, this is an amazing story. Aaron grew a membership from 0 to north of 7 figures, like beyond 7 figures, in a 1.5 year period. Like, can you imagine? Now, she serves real estate agents. She makes their lives so much easier by doing so. It's almost like a done for you membership, but just an incredible story of how she took an idea and boom, took off with that idea. Anna DiGilio, the lovely Anna DiGilio, she's one of my favorite stories because, here's a woman who was a grade 1 teacher for 22 years. Now, her specialty was helping kids go from not knowing how to read to being able to read chapter books and love it. And so that's her specialty. And so much so that she had parents who every year were trying to get their kids into her class, right? Well, long story short, she took that knowledge and she started sharing it. And she started providing one-off lesson plans for other teachers, sharing how she was able to help these kids. Well, long story short, those one-off lesson plans were doing great, but then she launched a membership, and the membership allowed her to create that stability. She had thousands and thousands of members, join, and it was one of the most rewarding experiences to watch her growth, because in the community, she was giving updates every step along the way as she was releasing this for the very first time and seeing all those new members come in and then seeing the growth. And in fact, I got to give her tremendous credit. She recently has just made a pivot to realizing that not only can teachers benefit from this info, but right now, especially parents, the millions of parents who are at home with their kids, right? So she's made a pivot and has launched another membership site serving those kids. And so again, it's just a great example of like taking the knowledge that she has in her brain and helping these markets who need it so desperately. So Trisha Callahan, another great example of somebody who's built a membership site. Her membership site incorporates meal plans for a variety of different dietary, for a variety of different diets. And specifically, she helps with freezer meals. So you can imagine like how important that is right now, right? Like there's a huge, spike in the number of people cooking at home. So Trisha has leaned into that as well, like big opportunity there. Nancy Case. I am so grateful for Nancy because Nancy sends our office a box of taffy every single month. And she has a taffy club, a taffy membership. And I love her model because her model is like she sends 3 bags. And so one is to keep like for yourself, one is to share with somebody else, and one is to give to somebody else. I love that. I love how she has incorporated and wove that into her membership. But it's another great example of a membership model that has really, again, she's taken a product that somebody would come into a store, a one-off product like taffy, and turned it into a recurring membership. The point of the matter is that it doesn't matter if you have a product-based business, a service-based business, a knowledge-based business, or a community-based business. A membership model is the future of your business model because it creates stability. It creates stability today. It creates stability tomorrow. And so what I want to do is I want to encourage you to start asking yourself different questions. And if you're considering a membership and you're like, yeah, but how do I, where do I go with a membership? Like, how do I structure it? What do I do? Well, I want to encourage you, if you haven't done so yet, please make sure you go to tribeworkshop.com because we're going to dive deep into this, later this week. Tribeworkshop.com. I'm going to be going live where I'm going to be sharing more examples, and I'm going to be helping you in that first session really drill down in terms of what do you look for in a market as it relates to a membership. And if the market you're in, would it be a good fit for a membership? We're going to answer that question this Thursday. So make sure you join us. Again, tribeworkshop.com. But I'm also going to talk about like what type of membership, because there are many different types. There are many different types of memberships, and not all of them are going to be a right fit for all these different types of businesses. I get asked that a lot. Stu, is there any type of business where a membership wouldn't make sense? And so we're going to talk about that. And so that's going to be on Thursday. It's going to be a live training. It's all happening at 3 p.m. Eastern. If you can't make 3 p.m. live, don't worry. There will be a replay. But you got to go to tribeworkshop.com to register to get the information about the live and or the replay. So make sure you go to tribeworkshop.com. But here's when I'm thinking about a membership, I'm going to give you a quick little framework to do a little bit of homework on. Number one is I always look for an ongoing problem. Is there an ongoing problem in the marketplace? A perfect example. You have a dog that is out of control, right? Like that's not something that's just immediately going to change. That is an ongoing problem that is going to take training. That's perfect for a membership. So if there's a market where you're in where there's an ongoing problem, that's a really good fit. Another ongoing problem, you heard me talk about it today, was the exterminator, right? Like the ongoing problem is we've got mice because we live in a wooded area. So that's an ongoing problem. Perfect for a membership. So that's another quick example. Another thing that I look for, ongoing problems, number one. Number two is people are looking to learn a skill. This is why Levi's membership is absolutely taking off. This is why Emily's membership is absolutely taking off. She's helping artists. This is why there's so many great examples of whether it's in photography or calligraphy or fitness and finance and music and art, health and dog training and so many more. These are all about learning a skill. And the reality of it is we don't go from not knowing how to play the guitar to becoming the next Eric Clapton like that. We don't go from not knowing how to paint to becoming the next Picasso like that. Like it's a journey. And that, my friend, is perfect for a membership site because over time, people are learning how to do that skill, right? So very, very important. That's another great thing that I love to look for. And third thing that I love to look for is there an ongoing need? And what I mean by that is like, I think of the membership Teen Life Ministries from Paul Evans. So in his case, he serves youth ministers who during the week, most youth ministers have full-time jobs. And so they are working their full-time job. And then on Saturday, they're kind of scrambling to prepare for the Sunday sermon that they're going to deliver. And so what Paul's membership does is he makes their lives so much easier. So now he delivers them a PowerPoint presentation. So the majority or the lion's share of the preparing for that sermon is done. You just got to go in and make a few tweaks and bada bing, bada boom. So what he's doing is he's creating a tremendous amount of convenience. So there's an ongoing, so he's created a ton of convenience for them. And so that's why people continue to pay month after month after month. And they don't ever want to leave that, right? Because if they leave it now, they've got to do all the hard work. It's like Anna DeGilio and Patty Palmer and so many others who provide teachers lesson plans. Like if those teachers were to ever leave the membership, now they got to, do all the heavy lifting and hard work of coming up with those lesson plans themselves. Instead, Anna, Patty, and so many others, they serve that need by, making those people's lives so much more convenient and easy. We're going to talk a lot more about this on Thursday during the live training. So make sure, go to, tribeworkshop.com. If you've got questions leading up to this, I want you to ask because we're going to be spending a lot of time answering questions as well. So make sure you come join us, tribeworkshop.com, and we'll talk about all the different types of businesses. We'll talk about different membership models. And more specifically, I'm going to help you get clear on which one is going to be right for you and your market. Because we don't want to pick a model that isn't going to be a fit, that's going to be taxing on us. Nobody wants a business that's going to, consume us and drain us. We want a business model that's going to be light. We want a business model that's going to be easy. And we want a business model that's going to create profitable income coming in month after month to create that stability. So we'll talk about that this Thursday, tribeworkshop.com. All right, my friends, you're amazing. We will see you on Thursday. Take care.